Hello, MAB Mental Math. This is the Snakes. Hope you got your paper and your pencil ready to do some long division mental math. Gonna tease those brains, make them stronger. It's a little hard to do long division on virtual video. I love for you guys to have racks and tubes, and like I say, all you guys will see you in September, and we'll be doing racks and tubes then. But let me go through a few more of these long division problems for you. Listen carefully, record your problem, solve it, come back and see Mr. T's solution. By the way, kind of nice out here in our little playground, only missing one thing. You sure wish you were here. The printing press prints 459 newspaper pages a day. The city has 3 newspapers. If each newspaper has an equal number of pages, how many pages does each newspaper have? All right, these are tricky. Listen carefully, set up your problem. The printing press prints 459 newspaper pages a day, and the city has 3 different newspapers. If each newspaper has an equal number of pages, how many pages does each newspaper have? Freeze your video, solve your problem. Come watch Mr. T do it. So, we know our dividend, the big number, is 459. And we're going to distribute those, okay, to 3 different newspapers. The printing press can do 459, and we're going to have 3 papers. So we need to know how many of the 459, if we distribute them to our divisor of 3, how many will each newspaper get? Well, we start with the highest place values in long division. So if I have 400s distributed to 3 newspapers, each newspaper is going to get 100, okay, 100 pages. All right, so then I've used up how many of the 400? Well, I've used up 300 because each of the 3 newspapers got 1. So I got to take those away because they're gone. They've been given up, used, distributed. That's what we do in division. We distribute the divisor, and I distributed the 400s. Each newspaper got 1. We have 1 left. So I bring down my 10s, the next place value. So now I've got 15 10s to give away to 3 guys, to 3 newspapers. All right. So how many is each of the newspapers going to get? If I got 15 to give away, well, each is going to get 5, isn't it? Because, and this is where you have to know your math facts multiplication and get out a finger chart if you don't have mastered yet. All right. So those 15, and it's 15 10s, those 15 10s given to 3 newspapers, each newspaper is going to get 5. I'm going to use all 15 of them, aren't I? So I got 0. But I have 9 units still to distribute. So if I distribute 9 units to 3 newspapers, 9 pages to 3 newspapers, each newspaper is going to get 3 pages, aren't they? And I will have used all 9 of my remaining pages, and I have 0. So if the printing press can do 459 pages in a day, and I got 3 newspapers that I'm printing on this press, each one of them can be 153 pages long. Of course, that would be a really big newspaper. Take a careful look. This is long division. Hope you got it right. If you didn't, figure out where you got it wrong, or maybe if I could turn this way, it'd be better. Yeah, there you go. All right. Here we go. Get the glare out of it. There you go. A cruise liner sailing out of Miami, Florida has 5 new lifeboats. If there are 175 passengers on the cruise liner, how many passengers should fit in each lifeboat? Now, this is a really important question, isn't it? If you're going out on a cruise ship, you want to make sure there's enough lifeboats to handle all of the passengers. This cruise ship has 175 passengers. That'll be our dividend. the number of passengers we have, and we need to distribute them amongst 5 lifeboats. 5 is our divisor. So how much is each one of them going to get? This is dynamic. So I have 175 passengers, 105 boats. How many hundredths can each boat get if I only have 100? 0. Can't do that distribution. I can't distribute 100 to 5 boats because it wouldn't be fair. One boat would get 100, the other 4 would get nothing. Division always has to be fair, equal. So if I can't distribute the 100 place value, which I can't, I just go to the next place value. Pretty cool. So now I got 17 tens. 100 is 10 tens, and 7 tens is 17 tens. I got 17 tens to distribute to those 5 lifeboats. All right, so let's see how many tens is each boat going to get. Well, 17, if I give 3 to each boat, then we'll use 15, won't we? So each boat's going to get 3 tens. 30 people, big lifeboats. And I'm going to use up, I will have distributed 15 tens. Right? So each boat's going to get 3 tens, that's 30 people. I will have used up 15 of my 17 tens, and I still have 2 tens left to go. And I have those 5 units. So we have 25 passengers that still need a place in a lifeboat, don't they? After each lifeboat gets 30 people. So now, if I distribute 25 passengers to the 5 lifeboats, this is your multiplication of facts. 5 times 5 is 25, so each boat is going to get 5, and I will use up and find place for all 25 of those remaining passengers, and there will be 0 left on the boat if it has an accident. So, if we have 175 passengers on a boat and 5 lifeboats, and each lifeboat is going to take 35 passengers if we have an emergency. Long division. See, the cool thing about long division, and it's why we do it last in our functions of math as we study, or division, is because it uses addition, subtraction, and multiplication in order to come up with the solution. So that's why you got to know your other math functions to do division. I'll give you one more. There are 45 people taking whitewater river rafting trips down the Colorado River. If each raft holds, that's the same problem, so let's find something more interesting. Luke and Hans traveled from Death Star to the planet Vega in Star Wars. The distance was 240 light years. It's a fantasy. 240 light years they traveled. If they traveled 8 light years a day, how many days did the trip take in Star Wars? All right, so it's 240 light years of distance between the Death Star and the planet Vega, where the Revolution Alliance was, I think. So 240 light years, and they're going to make 8 light years a day. So how long is it going to take them to get there? All right, freeze your video. Go and solve your problem. All right, so Luke and Hans are going to travel 240 light years. That's our dividend. We're going to distribute that dividend over. I want to know how many. Excuse me. They're going to travel 8 light years a day. So 240 light years, and they're going to make 8 a day. So I need to know how many days it is that they're going to have to travel to make the 240. So I'm distributing 240 light years to the amount of light years they can travel in a day, which is 8. So let's see what we can do. Can I distribute 200 to 8? No. But I can distribute 24 tens to 8. And if I look at 24 tens and distribute it to 8, to the 8 to the 8 days a day, to the 8 light years they can travel in a day, then I'm going to get 3. So they'll use up 24. So it's going to take them at least 310 days to get there if they can do 8 light years in a day. 30 days. 24 from 24 is 0. Still have this place value. It's tricky. That 0 has to be brought down. I have 0. Can I distribute 0 to 8 light years in a day? No. The answer is 0. So it's going to take them, because of those zeros, to travel the 240 light years. If they can make 8 light years a day, it's going to take them 30 days. These are tricky. Long division. Takes a lot of thinking. So this will be Mr. T out for you guys in snakes. Next week I'll have our final longs division session for you and a little new wrinkle on how to do things. For a minute though, since we're here in the playground, when the cars pass, let's listen and listen for the birds. I heard some dove a few minutes ago. It's the springtime. There's lots of baby birds in nests all over the woods. There's even a robin's nest right over our door in the classroom. And the babies are crying for food, and the adults are bringing them food constantly all day long. And then every once in a while they go quiet, because the adults are there feeding them. Wish you guys were here. Hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend. Mr. T, to you math snakes, we're out.